Welcome back, guys. Happy Independence Day to all the Indian viewers, and sorry for the delay in uploading this video. We had to wait because we crossed the 10K views mark and YouTube were about to launch their new review policy. And then later we guys got a bit busy with our SEMs. So I apologize on behalf of this channel. So now let's continue with the attendance app. As we saw in the last video, we completed the UI part for registration. It's about time for the functioning part. Let's go to the main package and create another package, sub-package called data. The reason we create packages is to divide the code into modules. So this helps in tracking the code as well as it is well maintained. And similar type of data can be stored in this data package. So now in this package, we need to create a class called constants. So right click on it and create a Java class, name it as constants. So this constants file will consist of all the constants which will be requiring throughout this application. So we'll just make them static and we can access them from any other package, any other class. So first of all, we need to assign a constant value to recognize the male and female gender. So now in this case, we will create a public static final int. Public gives us allows us to access these members from any other package. Static means same instance will be used for all the instances of that class. Final meaning the constant. This keyword relates to constant. So we'll just copy paste that part for the female one. So male will be 1 and gender female will be equated to 2. Yeah, so assigned as 2. Next, we need to go to the first page.java file. And now as you guys saw in the UI part in the last video, that in the UI part we had created 5 components, namely the male and female button, the edit text for first name and last name, and the circle button for the login. So now that was the UI part. So in order to give it some function, in order to decide its functioning, we need to just link it over here in the Java page. So that we do by the following manner. We just need to create the instances of the components over here. So public, the type of the female and male button was circle button. So we need to write circle button over here. So public circle button, then male. So similarly, at the same thing for the female, it is public circle button female. So these were the first 2 components. Then comes the edit text, the first name and last name. You can write it in any order. It's not compulsory that you need to write them in the same order in which you have created the UI part. So over here, when you write public edit text of F name and public edit text, public edit text L name. So now as you can see, I have segregated the code into the instances into 2 parts. First one was circle button and next part is edit text. So this comes in handy when you write say suppose 200 or 300 lines code, and say suppose you need to deal with some a particular instance of type A. Then you just come into this area and just search for that instance in type A. So that comes handy. So last part was the login button, which was the circle button. So public circle button login. Yeah, so those were all the instances. Now we need to instantiate all those instances by linking them to the components which we had created in the UI part. That we do by following method. We write mail equal to find view by ID and pass the ID which we have declared in the UI part for that mail circle button. So if you recall, profile mail was the ID given for the circle button for mail. Similarly, for female, we write female equal to find view by ID and pass the ID of the female circle button from the UI class. So this is how it gets linked over here. And then we can use this circle button mail to manipulate the functioning of that button. So now similarly do it for fname. Fname equals find view by ID r.id dot what was the name? Yeah, first name. So as we have named it as first name, let's just change this from fname to first name so that it becomes easier for me to remember it. And the last name, L name to the last name, and then reflect the changes below. Yeah, the last name equals to find view by ID, pass the ID of the last name edit text was last name. These were the first four components, and the last one was the login circle button. So login equals find view by ID r.id.lname. So now that gets the instantiation part. Next thing we need to do is when the user clicks on the mail button, we need to listen to that activity. So Java provides one simple method for it. You do mail dot set OnClickListener and pass a new listener to it. Just type the V and press enter. So automatically that onClick method will get overridden. So now we create one integer called gender and equate it to 0. So now if the user presses the mail button, then you'll be brought into the onClick method. So first of all, we do gender equal to the gender mail constant which we have declared in the constants.java. Gender mail. We're getting this error because we have not imported that code over here. We have not imported that constant file over here. So just on pressing Alt and Enter, it will automatically get imported. So on pressing that mail, the mail button, its color should be changed. So in order to do that, need to just type in over here, get resources, then dot get color and r.id dot no, I'm mistaken, r dot color dot any color which we want to give it over there, color dot say yeah, it is green. Why we are getting, oh, because of that comma. So just remove that comma and put dot over there. Yeah, now it will be fine. So now if the user presses the mail button, then the color will be green. So in order to show some difference, we'll put female dot set color to white. So we'll change the female's button to the white color. So similarly, we do get resources dot get color dot no, inside the get color method, pass this argument r.color dot say white. Yeah, so this will be the male on-click listener. So you can copy this for female button and just swap the male with female and female with male everywhere. So what this will do is, if the user presses the female button, then gender will be equated to female. Similarly, just press Alt Enter to import that gender female in this class. Then male dot set on set color to female, and female dot set color to male, so that the reverse things happen over here. So now next button is the login button. So just type in the same thing, login dot set on click listener. Set on click listener, write new space V and press enter. So in this on-click listener, if the user presses this on-click listener, then what we need to do first is we need to check if the user has entered some detail in the edit text, the first name and last name. If the user hasn't, then we need to show some error to the user. So that we do by the following method. We write if, inside it just put text utils dot. So to check if the edit text is empty, there is a function called isEmpty, and in that we pass the string, any string. So in order to convert the edit text data into string, we write the first name, that is the instance of that edit class, edit text dot get text dot toString and dot trim. What trim will do if the user has entered say ABCD and say suppose there are 4 or 5 spaces, then this trim will remove those spaces until it finds some valid character. Then we can copy this for the last name. Just change the first name to the last name. And we can also say and gender equal to 0, but no, we'll use another if inside this if. The reason why we equated gender equal to 0, because if the user has pressed female, then it will be, the gender will be equated to 2. If male, then gender will be equated to 1. And if not, yeah, before that we need to change that text utils to not, because if it is not empty, then you need to proceed over here. Yeah, so as I was saying, if the user doesn't press anywhere, then we need just to create gender equal to 0. Then inside it we need to just toast something in that text field. We could say, yeah, please select a gender. And then we could create an else part. So in this else part, you'll be brought over here only if you have entered something in first name and last name and you have selected a gender. So as of now, we won't be writing it, because we need to do something else before coming into login part. So we'll just comment and write login part. So that's it for now. We'll be continuing in the next video, writing the shared preferences. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, just like it and share it to your fellow persons. Do subscribe this channel and press the bell icon to stay tuned to our newly updated videos. Thank you.